and gentlemen, it is your favorite NFL fan here, the DOUG, here for his opinions on what 5 teams will be new to the playoffs this year and what 5 teams will get knocked out who made it last year. Now, to me, before I can start, there's one team I want to talk about, and that is the Houston Texans. I firmly believe they are in control of their own destiny. Because the Colts, they're in rebuild mode. Jaguars, to me, are in rebuild mode. And Tennessee, who I think is the only threat to Houston, but I think Houston can still win it. The only reason I believe Houston's in control of those reasons. Now, if Houston does lose the star quarterback, yeah, it's going to be a doomsday like it was for them in the playoffs last time. But that is an opinion. Now, let's get to the 5 teams I believe who will get bounced, who made it last year to the playoffs. Number 5, the Detroit Lions. Now, yes, the Lions didn't make the 6th seed last year, and I tip my hat to them. Did better than my team. But, I am not betting against the Madden cover curse. No way in hell am I betting against that. I think the curse is going to hit them. And you know, I like Calvin Johnson, but I'm telling you this right now, and I've gone for this philosophy since Madden's been putting the pro athletes on the cover. Never draft the player in fantasy, and never pick them for the playoffs. And I've been right every year. And I think this year it's going to happen again. Lions, I respect you, but Madden cover job? No way. Sorry, I can't do it. Detroit Lions, 15 that would not make it. Number 4, we're going to stay in the NFC for a little bit, and I'm going to talk about the New York Giants. Now, I know I'm probably pissing some New York fans off here. Somebody's like, oh, but dude, they were the defending Super Bowl champions. Yes, they were. No doubt about that. They were the defending champions. But, and I do use this term loosely, every person who's made it to the Super Bowl the following year, there's been a curse. Now, for some reason, I don't think New England's going to freaking see the thing just because of the fact of, well, it just ain't going to happen. But, let's just take a look back at the last 2 Super Bowls, so to speak. Okay, let's just go back to the last few. Okay? And I'm doing this for a reason. Okay? Take a look back. Green Bay Packers, defending Super Bowl champions from the, when they beat Pittsburgh. Following year, what happened? They got bounced in the, by the New York Giants. Following year, it was the Saints and Colts. Saints won it. Look what happened. Green Bay made it the following. Pittsburgh beat Arizona. We have seen every time who's ever been the defending champion has not made it back. As a matter of fact, the last time the champion made it back and won the Super Bowl was back in February 2005 when the New England Patriots beat the Philadelphia Eagles. By the way, in 2004, the New England Patriots beat the Carolina Panthers. Now, of course, on the flip side of that, maybe could the Giants do it? Yes, they could. But, I don't know. So wait and see. But I'm going with the odds that that's not going to happen. So I have to go with what history's been showing me. So that's my opinion on that. Now, number 3, AFC, Cincinnati Bengals. My problem with the Bengals is this. They got a lot of young talent. Now, yes, they did make the 6th seed, which was very impressive. I didn't have them making it. But with a lot of teams getting new players, I don't know what they can do. And plus, let's not forget, they play the Steelers twice and the Ravens twice. And I believe in the North, whichever one between those 3, I'm going by this. Whoever wins those games wins the division. Whoever wins the second most out of those gets the wild card. The third one gets shit. But that is my opinion. Cincinnati, I believe you have a lot to prove, because I think a lot of people believe last year was a fluke for you guys. Let's see if we're alright or if we're wrong. Now, the second team, and I know I'm pissing off people up in this state, Denver. I do not have the Denver Broncos making it back. Now, last year they made it with Tim Tebow. Tebow time. I'm sure a lot of people love that. I mean, I like Tebow, you know. At least he doesn't mind showing his religion, like some people. They did beat Pittsburgh, which no one had them beating Pitt. Now, yes, they did get blown out by New England, but that is besides the point. Now, my problem with Denver is this, and this falls to Peyton Manning. One good hit to the neck good tackle or clean, one good hit, he's done. And then Denver, what are you going to do if Peyton gets hurt? That is my big question. If Peyton gets hurt, what do the Broncos do? And for some reason, every time I bring this up to Bronco fans, they don't want to answer the question. So if you're a Bronco fan and you're watching this, I want to know, if Peyton Manning gets hurt, what do you do? Because you don't have Tebow. I don't even know who the backup is. There's the problem. If Peyton goes down, what are you going to do? Now, if he stays healthy, I believe Denver gets in. But if he gets hurt, it's done. And I'm sorry. You can tell me all you want he's 100% physically. But mentally, the mind, that's the question. Is he 100% mentally ready? We don't know. And we won't know till the season starts. Now, as far as for the last team, the number one team, I can firmly believe will not make it back is the New Orleans Saints. I know I'm pissing Saints fans off here. I'm sure I'm probably going to hear it. But I gotta be honest. Whew. What has not been talked about by the media on this? You have the good old wonderful, and I mean wonderful, Bountygate situation. I mean, good Lord, Bountygate. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun, boys and girls? Bountygate. Yeah, you guys lost a lot of players. You have an interim head coach who I don't think is going to do anything for you, to be honest, because your original coach got suspended. Oh no, let's not forget. You're having problems with Drew Brees right now. Now, you lost 2 players from this. You lost the linebacker, he's out for the season, and you lost the defensive lineman, Will Smith, who's out for 4 games. Not bad. But, I'm sorry. What are you going to do? I'm sorry, this bounty scandal is going to hurt you. And I guarantee Saints will not make it back. I believe on this note, Atlanta wins the division. Unlike where everyone's saying the Saints can still win it. I don't know if they can. I really don't. And I mean that all honestly. I really don't know if they can. Just because of the fact, with all this stuff that's going on, you would think that the Saints had the man and cover job this year, not the Lions. Now, of course, I could be wrong. But to me, I believe the Saints are the one team that will not make it back. I just don't see it happening, guys. I know I'm probably bleeping off a lot of people, but that is my firm belief on that. Now, as to the 5 teams who made it, I'm just gonna be who will make it to the playoffs this year, I should say. I'm actually gonna be a little crazy. Number 5, we're gonna start with the NFC because that has the 3 teams. Number 5, believe it or not, I'm insane on this, and I'm probably gonna get called out for it. I have the Carolina Panthers making it. I believe the Panthers could be the threat because they went 6-10. They probably had one of the best quarterbacks last season. Now, of course, they get to catch a lucky break because we don't know how the Saints are going to be with all this bounty. In Atlanta, we know it sometimes have been subpar. But I believe Carolina could even steal it, depending how Atlanta does. But I believe Carolina will most likely at best get a wild card pick. Now, I know some people would take the Bears on that, but not me. Now, the next 2 come from the NFC East. I believe the Philadelphia Eagles, I can't believe I'm saying that, and the Dallas Cowboys, and anyone knows me knows I'm a Cowboys fan. I believe both those 2 teams will make it. I think they've done a lot better to rebuild, and both of them almost made the playoffs last year if it wasn't for injuries out the yin-yang. Both quarterbacks played hurt. Now, I firmly do believe, however, if Vic and Roma both get hurt, both teams are in trouble. So to both teams, I recommend this. Keep your quarterback healthy at all costs for both. Now, as far as who gets the division title and who gets wild card, I don't know. I think it's going to be too close to call. It may not be to the last week of the season, but I do believe both teams make it. Now, just because of the fact I think the Eagles are going to be better, and if Vic stays healthy, they'd be great. And Dallas did a little. I think Dallas did a good job rebuilding its defense, and they still got a good offense. If it wasn't for a few mishaps and mistakes by the rookie head coach, they might have been in it. But you know, even with failure, you learn something. I think both teams make it though. Now, as far as for the AFC, we need to talk about the AFC West before I can even get to what the other wildcard team is going to be, in my opinion. I already said Denver's not going to make it. You got San Diego, you got Raiders, and you got the Chiefs. I'm looking at all three of them, and I'm really having a hard time because that division sometimes you could go 8-8 and win the thing, like Denver did. Now, looking at it, San Diego, probably out of all of them, has the better quarterback, and I only can say that because we don't know how Peyton's going to do this year. So give me some slack on that because we don't know how Peyton's going to do. If Peyton was healthy, well, one, if he was healthy, I don't think he would have left the Colts. And two, I don't even think he would be with Denver if he left Indianapolis. Now, Oakland probably has the most to prove because, well, before this past season, they were considered the joke. But they could have something to prove. So as for Kansas City, remember, it was not that long ago they were in the playoffs. So this one's pretty much a coin flip between three teams. And after looking at the schedule, looking how everyone's doing, I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I just think San Diego, they got problems. Every time we think they're going to be the team, every time we think they're going to win it all, they fall up short. So as for Oakland, you got to prove me something, Oakland. I mean, come on, Raiders. Prove me that you're still the insane team from the old days with Howie Long and John Madden, okay? Denver, like I said earlier, I don't trust the quarterback. Now, as far as for the wildcard team, and I'm finally going to believe in this, I have, and I know I'm probably shocking people, I have the New York Jets making it back. Now, yes, a lot of people are not picking them because of all this fiasco with Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow. But I believe that the Jets can make it work. They can be a threat. You got two different style of quarterbacks. You got Sanchez, who probably can pass better than Tony. Not Tony. Tim Tebow, my mistake. Tim Tebow. There's no doubt about that. But when it comes to running with the ball, Mark Sanchez is a hell of a lot worse out of the two. And Tebow will run with the ball and run for the touchdowns. He will put his body on the line, I believe. Now, of course, the Jets, the problem with it is the egos in that locker room and the ego of the head coach. But if they can get it together, I think they can just sneak in, but I don't think they'll win it. I think they'll sneak on in. So, just as a recap, the 5 teams I have who will not make it back: New York Giants, Detroit Lions, the New Orleans Saints, the Denver Broncos, and the Cincinnati Bengals. And the 5 new teams I have taken their place: the Jets, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Carolina Panthers. Am I right in all this, or do you think my opinions are incorrect? Let me know what you think. Until later this week when it's time for Money in the Bank pay-per-view picks, this is your boy, the DOUG, signing out, and have an awesome day.